Hi, it's Ron again. Wanted to make another video to share some good news. Right, Zeus? We got lots of good news coming up. Alright, and again, this is Zeus, also known as Zeus to the Rooster, my best buddy and my emotional support dog officially. First of all, filming this on February 4th. February 7th is going to make 21 months of sobriety for me. So, hooray on that. Boston Strong. And have some good news about some public speaking I have coming up. Well, as anyone who's watched my videos, listened to my podcast, or knows me personally knows, I've had quite the journey, especially the last several years, and made a lot of progress, especially the last year or so. And that's in large part thanks to a great therapist that I have, and also Zeus here. Never underestimate dogs. And well, like I said, he's my emotional support. So have my two pillars of strength there. And as anyone who's struggled with addiction or mental health issues knows, recovery is not a linear process. I like that phrase because there's nothing but truth in that. Unless people know when you do have ups and downs and they're inevitable, like my 21 months of sobriety coming up February 7th, there's ups and downs in that. Some days are easier than others. And I don't miss the drinking itself. I miss more of the social aspects of it, but that was kind of rendered moot by the pandemic anyway. So there you go. But a few things I like to say is recovery is not a linear process. Also, just my main impetus for sharing my story through these videos and my podcast, and the big goal is to be doing public speaking and sharing my story with bigger audiences, eventually TED Talks and all that good stuff. I was recently talking to someone I know and telling them about my goal of a public speaking career, and they were I mentioned this in another video, they were being a naysayer and, well, why hasn't it happened yet and all that stuff. And like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, don't listen to the naysayers. And another thing I've said before is PTSD is the gift that keeps on giving. Well, as Arnold says, give something back. Give something back to your community, to your fellow humans. It's something that really empower you, make you feel good. Well, I'm giving something back, and that's, if PTSD is the gift that keeps on giving, I'm going to give back by sharing my story. And the main emphasis is, again, helping anyone who's struggling with different mental health issues. The main thing is letting them know they're not alone, because much of my struggle, I had a very difficult time finding therapy with no money and no insurance. It was extremely difficult to find therapy. So I want to put my voice out there as yet another voice to let people know that they can do this, they can get help, they can make it through. And, well, I've been getting more involved with NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, the last year or so. And now, of course, COVID really had a huge negative impact on volunteer opportunities, but something that came up, and I've mentioned, is I was chosen to be one of their speakers for their Recovery 101, How to Become a Rock Star program. And ROC is ROCC, Recovery Oriented Community of Care. And I put in my application and everything and was accepted, which made me cry when I got that email. Well, I've been doing a lot of training videos and everything to prepare myself for that. And I got the email on Monday from the doctor who's heading up the program, and it's one of NAMI's many outreach programs, which is the goal is end the silence, end the stigma, and those are my big goals about all of this. Well, I sent in 4 of these videos, which were fairly lengthy. I worked really hard on them and put a lot of thought into them. And the next day, the doctor in charge of the program, he just sent me these glowing reviews that he really liked how I presented it. It's a slide presentation, basically, how I presented it, my tone and delivery, and how basically how I interspersed my personal story in along with it and expanded on some things. Well, my next announcement is that, my friend who said, why hasn't it happened yet? Well, it's happening now. As February 14th and 16th, I'll be doing my first 2 paid public speaking gigs. And so, Zeus, did you hear that, buddy? I've had a few public speaking gigs in recent years. Last year I had the one at Parkland University. A few years ago, a couple days before the Boston Marathon, I spoke to a group of people sharing my story, but I'm just amazed. I hardly know what to say about it other than it's all coming together. I'm a little stunned. That's the thing. I'm a little stunned because it's all coming together faster than I thought it would. But like Arnold said, ignore the naysayers. And just keep forging ahead. So I did that. I kept forging ahead, just kept doing my thing, and this is the end result. In less than 2 weeks, I'll have my first 2 paid public speaking gigs. And Zeus, you know what that means? One other thing, I'll borrow this from a famous Oscar speech. I'll change it just a little bit. You know what this means, Zeus? They like me. They really like me. All right, y'all have a good night.